Okay, let's look at Rebecca's paper just a second. This is an interesting topic for sure. She's titled it Big Brother Businesses Know Too Much. And here's one thing I failed to fix. So we don't use apostrophes when we're talking about plural. We use, that's just not how you make something plural. So it's businesses know too much. So the first thing, so she starts this fine. Let me click it off here. Are Americans being exploited by businesses and their evolving marketing techniques? America is a capitalist country after all. Okay, so that's fine. But, you know, if Rebecca wants to, she can start this with a little bit of a scenario or something. So starting a paper, two tasks. It should get the reader's attention, and it should help to set the topic in context. So, like, why are we talking about this, right? So, if you look at this possible scenario that I suggested, something like this, I said, this is a fine start, but you could easily add in a scenario, something like, Susan spends 5 minutes on Amazon searching for a new red lip gloss. 10 minutes later, she is scrolling through Facebook and notices 3 advertisements for the exact same lip gloss she just saw on Amazon. What is going on? Is this okay? And then, you know, you can kind of, something like that, then you get into your introduction. It is just a suggestion. It's not anything that you have to do to make full credit or anything like that. I'm just trying to give everybody an idea about how to get the reader's attention. Okay, so capitalism and capitalist are just lower C. If you're going to ask a question, but what separates marketing from the exploitation of vulnerable customers, we need a question mark. Businesses are studying the public closer than most care to realize. Instead of saying it is an invasion of privacy, let's say this. It's a little bit more, it's more demonstrative and it's pointing back to this. This is an invasion of privacy, and it puts financial and medical information at risk for being stolen. Let's change that to for. Whoops. I don't know if that translates. Yeah. Okay. For being. No, I think of is better. Of being stolen. Let's read that again. It puts financial and medical information at risk of being stolen. Okay. Americans do have some authority in protecting their sensitive information by declining to share any unnecessary information with businesses. Still, so much of the data businesses have collected is from social media usage, and companies are legally allowed to collect consumer information without enough regulation or consequence. So there's a little bit of hint of thesis here. It is just not just, and that's okay. Rebecca really comes in at the end and drives the thesis home. This without enough regulation or consequence is her opinion, you know, but it is not exactly, I mean, we get it anyway. It's not really, really strong, and that's fine because she's going to explain, and then she's really going to drive that home. I just want to point out that when we have an and we start a new clause, companies are allowed, that is a new sentence, and so yes, comma with the with the coordinating conjunction there. Let's just remember our basic grammar and punctuation that Rebecca did remember. So without the little markings, this is a good introduction. I want to look at this next paragraph specifically. Again, very little changing here. Our country is founded on capitalism, and marketing techniques utilized by businesses are all within legal limits. So that should tell us that this whole paragraph is about these marketing techniques being legal. Techniques include soliciting customer information and purchasing customers' data, so apostrophe after customers, from social media sites. You really need, so I know that we kind of all know this, sort of, don't we? But you need a source. So when it comes to sources, if you have several sentences in a row that come from the same source, you have to start, like with the very first sentence, go ahead and cite it. I think it's just best to cite them all, but for sure. Anyways, so there's some other things here that, you know, may be coming from different sources. I don't know. I need to see at least 2 sources in this spot, in this space. Data can also include what a customer looks at online, from web pages to items bought or items a customer began to buy but didn't. All right, marketing analysis, I messed with this because I wanted it to be analyses. Just leave it as analysis. And then, of course, look at this really specific information. Marketing analysis even takes into consideration the time a customer or social media user looks at an item on a page. That has to be located somewhere. I mean, you have to have a source for that, so please cite the source there. Companies are prepared to invest in marketing analysis systems to better market to customers by offering them items or deals on items they believe from statistical analysis a customer is likely to buy. I don't know. I missed that in the first time I read it, so I think the repetition of items there is probably unnecessary. All right, this leads many consumers to question not the whether or not privacy is even possible anymore. As noted with Art's paper, we really don't need to quote unless it's just really, really adding something that we cannot add with paraphrasing. And really, here's the general rule. If you're going to quote, then you need to come back after the quote and explain it. I will let you end this paragraph with source information because you're just paraphrasing, okay? And you can give credit to Johnson because he is literally questioning whether privacy is possible anymore, okay? Okay, so looking at the rest of your paper, I mean, this is a really, really good draft. I do want to point out one thing. An odd use, just at a glance, this goes for everybody. There's no need to put too much information as far as your sources go. A report from the Annenberg Public Policy of the, I'm looking right here, of the University of Pennsylvania. When I scroll down to your works cited, I cannot easily locate that. I see now that I think it's probably coming here. So that's not the information you need to include in your essay. Your essay should say, according to Turow and others, right? So always go, what's on the left margin here is what matters in your paper. So don't be telling me, Forbes magazine or something from Annenberg Public Policy Center. I mean, if it really adds to the credibility, so be it, but this is what has to be there. Back at it, Turow and others, if that's how you pronounce his name, okay? That's who you're citing here, not this italicized title. And just like I told Art, if it's a website, it does not have page numbers. So you would get rid of these page numbers and just put a period there on the inside. So look at your sources all the way throughout. They should be whatever is occurring on the left margin, that's what should be showing up in your paper. And speaking of references, you have a couple here. This is an APA and this one's in APA, so we need to fix them and get them into MLA 8th edition according to your writer's reference. Overall, great job. I look forward to reading the final draft. Thanks.